In a whirlwind of strategic shifts and unfolding controversies, Elon Musk's business empire, particularly Tesla, finds itself at a pivotal juncture, grappling with sales challenges while simultaneously charting ambitious new technological frontiers. The past week has seen significant internal restructuring, a bold vision for future energy production, and renewed scrutiny over the operational ethics of his burgeoning ventures. The most immediate development concerns Tesla's core automotive business, where CEO Elon Musk has directly stepped in to oversee sales for the crucial US and European markets. This move follows the departure of Omiyat Afshar, Tesla's longtime head of manufacturing and sales, reportedly due to a significant downturn in vehicle deliveries. The electric vehicle giant sold 389,400 vehicles in Q2 2025, a notable 12% year-over-year decrease. While a slight recovery from the preceding quarter's slump, financial experts project full-year deliveries to reach only 1.65 million units, an 8% drop from 2024 figures. The sales decline is attributed to several factors, including Tesla's delay in rolling out more affordable models, which has alienated middle-class consumers. This has allowed competitors like BYD to gain substantial ground by offering cost-effective alternatives. Europe in particular has seen a sharp decline, with sales plummeting 37% in the first 5 months of 2025, a trend that Bloomberg notes coincides with negative public opinion of Musk in key markets such as Germany and the United Kingdom. His vocal and often polarizing political stances over the past year are widely believed to have alienated a segment of Tesla's traditional buyer base. Amidst these immediate challenges, Musk is simultaneously signaling a significant long-term strategic pivot towards solar energy production. In a recent post on X, he floated the idea of building a new Tesla Solar Gigafactory in America. This ambition is not merely about expanding renewable energy, but is intrinsically linked to the soaring energy demands of artificial intelligence. As Tesla's AI technologies, including Optimus, Neuralink, and Grok, become increasingly prominent, generating an independent and robust energy supply has become a strategic imperative. The idea for a domestic solar gigafactory was reportedly galvanized by online discussions comparing US and Chinese solar efforts, with China having added a staggering 93 gigawatts of solar power capacity in May alone. This dwarfs the US solar industry's installation of 10.8 gigawatts of new electricity generating capacity during the entire first quarter of 2025, as reported by the Solar Energy Industries Association (SIA). Despite the U.S. industry's growth, which SIA President and CEO Abigail Rosshopper noted, solar and storage continue to dominate America's energy economy, adding more new capacity to the grid than any technology using increasingly American-made equipment. Musk's push underscores a desire for greater domestic self-sufficiency and a deeper integration of Tesla into the energy sector to power its AI ambitions. However, the expansion of Musk's AI empire has not been without its own controversies. His brain implant startup Neuralink recently drew public attention for self-designating as a small disadvantaged business (SDB) with the federal government. This designation, intended for companies majority owned by individuals from socially or economically disadvantaged groups with a net worth below $850,000 excluding home equity, stands in stark contrast to Neuralink's reported $9 billion valuation and its ownership by the world's richest man. The revelation, first reported by MuskWatch, highlights a paradoxical situation where a company led by a figure who has publicly criticized government diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs appears to benefit from a program designed to support disadvantaged enterprises. This incident adds another layer to the ongoing public debate surrounding Musk's relationship with government funds, given his companies have reportedly received billions in federal contracts and subsidies over the years. Adding a more personal yet equally public dimension to the narrative, pop star Olivia Rodrigo recently sparked a viral discussion by stating that it's a red flag when men express a desire to go to space, citing it as a sign of being a little too full of yourself. Intriguingly, Grimes, the musician and mother of 3 of Musk's children, publicly agreed with Rodrigo, writing on X, "It's true. Only women should be going to space. This seemingly light-hearted exchange underscores the public perception of Musk's ambitious space endeavors with SpaceX, which include his reiteration of intent to put humans on Mars by 2030, a journey he describes as dangerous and uncomfortable but great adventure. While Grimes has previously praised Musk's leadership in aerospace, her recent comment alongside Rodrigo's offers a glimpse into how his grand visions are received beyond the realm of scientific and business discourse. In essence, the current landscape for Elon Musk and his ventures is one of dynamic tension. Tesla faces immediate commercial headwinds, prompting a direct intervention from its CEO while simultaneously laying the groundwork for a future deeply intertwined with domestic solar production and energy-intensive AI. Yet, this forward momentum is continually shadowed by scrutiny over business practices and the impact of Musk's formidable public persona. The coming months will undoubtedly delineate whether these strategic adjustments and ambitious expansions can effectively navigate the challenges and controversies that seem to invariably follow one of the tech world's most influential and polarizing figures. The United States is currently navigating an unprecedented era of legal challenges as the Trump administration's sweeping policy changes continue to be met with a relentless wave of lawsuits. From state attorneys general and major media organizations to individual migrants and nonprofits, hundreds of legal actions have been filed, creating a complex web of judicial scrutiny that is actively shaping the implementation, or in many cases the halting, of the president's agenda. This pervasive litigation reflects a deep-seated tension between executive authority and the checks and balances inherent in the American legal system, with recent rulings and ongoing battles highlighting profound implications for governance, civil liberties, and the very structure of federal power. At the heart of many of these legal skirmishes are the administration's aggressive immigration policies. Opponents have challenged efforts to authorize immigration agents to enter houses of worship, broaden the scope of deportations, withhold federal funds from so-called sanctuary cities, and make it harder for refugees to claim asylum. A particularly egregious case involves Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador despite a court order forbidding it. His subsequent return to the U.S. to face charges underscores the judicial system's pushback against executive overreach. With a three-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit ruling that Mr. Abrego Garcia had been deprived of his rights by being wrongly deported. Similarly, the detention of Turkish graduate student Rumeysa Öztürk for criticizing Israel and Mahmoud Khalil, a legal permanent resident detained for pro-Palestinian demonstrations, have sparked lawsuits alleging unconstitutional retaliation for protected speech, raising critical questions about free expression. The administration's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act to deport alleged gang members has further divided federal courts, with judges grappling with the application of a 1798 law intended for times of declared war or hostile invasion, challenging its contemporary relevance and proper use. A significant force driving many of the administration's changes is the Department of Government Efficiency DOGE, an initiative championed by Elon Musk. Ostensibly created to cut costs and reorder government, DOGE has rapidly amassed extraordinary power. Republican proponents like Representative Craig Goldman argue that the federal government has a spending problem, not a revenue problem, and that DOGE is critical to addressing the massive waste of taxpayer dollars. Goldman highlighted that DOGE had identified billions of dollars in wasteful expenditures, leading to a major rescissions bill with $9 billion in cuts to entities like the U.S. Agency for International Development, citing examples such as $6 million for net zero emission cities in Mexico or $5.1 million to promote LGBT movements globally as outrageous federal spending. This narrative of fiscal responsibility has resonated with the public, with polling data analyzed by the New York Times indicating that Americans agreed with the statements "the government is inefficient" and "DOGE is a good idea" by margins of 14 and 6 percentage points, respectively. The administration has also touted DOGE's unprecedented level of transparency through a public website detailing identified cuts and cabinet secretaries publicly exposing examples of wasteful spending. However, DOGE's rapid expansion and opaque operations have simultaneously become a major flashpoint for legal and transparency challenges. American Oversight, a non-profit watchdog, has sued 20 government agencies demanding answers about DOGE's structure and personnel. They allege that DOGE has taken a hatchet to the federal government, eliminating hundreds of thousands of jobs and shuttering entire government agencies. Despite these sweeping actions, American Oversight states the administration has deliberately provided scant and confusing information about DOGE, obfuscating details about its structure and even the names of its employees. Agencies like the CDC, FDA, and Department of the Interior have even claimed they have no DOGE teams, contradicting public reports and DOGE's own boasts of cuts. DOGE, in court filings, has claimed it is not an agency and its records are not subject to public records laws, asserting its purpose is merely to advise the president without independent authority. American Oversight's investigations have, however, managed to uncover previously unreported DOGE officials, revealing individuals like Miles Collins, Marco Ilez, and Aram Magadassi, who are reportedly detailed to multiple agencies, raising further questions about accountability and oversight. Beyond DOGE, the administration's aggressive posture has extended to federal employment and the independence of government watchdogs. The summary firing or placement on leave of thousands of federal employees has triggered numerous lawsuits. A federal court recently ruled that President Trump's firing of Federal Trade Commissioner Rebecca Kelly Slaughter was illegal, challenging long-standing legal precedent that FTC members can only be dismissed for a narrow set of reasons. Similarly, the removal of several inspectors general without the required 30-day congressional notice and stated reasons has led to lawsuits by these independent watchdog officials. Further compounding concerns about the integrity of the justice system is the controversial nomination of Emile Bove, a Justice Department official, to a lifetime federal judgeship. Whistleblower allegations suggest Bove told agency attorneys to f*** facing court orders that slowed deportations and engaged in a coordinated effort to ignore facts, mislead judges, and conceal information in service of the president's anti-immigration agenda. As American Oversight's Chioma Chukwu asserted, Emile Bove didn't just cross ethical lines, he bulldozed them. The legal battles also span critical policy areas such as climate and environment, where the administration's revocation of Biden-era protections and a halt on new wind farm leasing have been challenged by 17 states and the District of Columbia as exceeding presidential authority. Funding cuts have also drawn fierce resistance. 20 states sued the Department of Transportation over its requirement that states receiving grants adhere to the administration's immigration policies, with a federal judge blocking the move as unconstitutional and states warning more people will die if billions in federal transportation funding are withheld. Similarly, executive orders seeking to ban diversity practices at educational institutions and restrict medical treatments for transgender youth have been met with constitutional challenges. Even federal access has become a legal battleground, with law firm Perkins Coie suing after an executive order sought to strip its lawyers of security clearances for their past political work, and the Associated Press challenging its barring from certain events for its use of the term Gulf of Mexico. This torrent of litigation underscores a profound moment for American governance, where executive ambition is continually tested by judicial review and the public's demand for transparency. The sheer volume and breadth of these lawsuits indicate a system under immense strain, forcing courts to define the boundaries of presidential power in unprecedented ways. As the administration continues to pursue its agenda and groups like American Oversight persist in their demands for accountability, the legal landscape will undoubtedly remain dynamic. The concept of a federal sunset commission, as proposed by Representative Goldman based on the Texas model, could emerge as a legislative solution to institutionalize efficiency oversight, offering a potential path for permanent, transparent cost-cutting. However, the immediate future promises continued contention with each ruling appeal. A new policy directive adding another layer to a legal saga that will shape the balance of power and the protection of rights for generations to come. In a strategic move that underscores both ambition and caution, Tesla has officially planted its flag in India, launching its operations in the world's most populous nation with what analysts describe as a small bet on a potentially massive growth market. The highly anticipated entry marked by the opening of a Tesla Experience Center in Mumbai, India's bustling financial hub, signals the electric vehicle giant's intent to tap into a burgeoning economy, albeit one presenting formidable initial hurdles. The inaugural showroom in a fashionable Mumbai mall now showcases the refreshed Model Y, the sole vehicle Tesla is offering in India. Imported from China, where Tesla produces right-hand drive models, the Model Y faces a significant price hurdle due to India's stringent import tariffs, which hover at nearly 100%. Consequently, the Model Y rear-wheel drive starts at 6.1 million rupees, approximately $70,000, a stark contrast to its $44,900 starting price in the US before taxes and fees. Deliveries are slated to commence later in the third quarter, but initial sales volumes are not expected to be substantial. As Counterpoint senior analyst Soman Mundal noted to AFP, "We don't expect Tesla to play the volume game right away given the price tag, especially in a country where the average annual income is around $4,000 and EVs constitute only 4% of the overall car market, despite India being the world's third largest by volume." Despite the immediate challenges posed by pricing and market penetration, the long-term potential for growth in India is undeniably explosive. Demographic projections paint a compelling picture. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) forecasts India's population to reach nearly 1.7 billion by 2050, diverging sharply from China's anticipated decline. Furthermore, the People Research on India's consumer economy price projects a dramatic expansion of the middle and affluent classes, with an estimated 75 million new middle class and 25 million rich households by 2030, collectively accounting for 56% of the total population. This burgeoning consumer base, transitioning from rural to urban living and experiencing a rise in labor participation, represents the core of Tesla's long-term wager. However, navigating the Indian market is not without its complexities, particularly concerning trade policy. India's long-standing preference for high import tariffs, in place for over 70 years, serves as a strategic tool to bolster domestic industrial production and incentivize foreign companies to invest in local manufacturing. This protectionist stance clashes with Tesla's current import-only model. While discussions between India and the US on trade agreements are ongoing, the tariff landscape remains a critical determinant for Tesla's future strategy. CEO Elon Musk has previously entertained the idea of establishing a manufacturing plant in India for both local consumption and export, a move that would significantly reduce vehicle costs. Yet the recent slowdown in the global EV market has seemingly shifted Musk's immediate priorities, with a renewed focus on advancements in AI and autonomous technology across the company's broader portfolio. The timing of this India push also coincides with critical junctures for Tesla globally, with upcoming earnings calls poised to shed further light on its financial health and strategic direction. As the company, alongside other tech giants like Google, Nvidia, and AMD, prepares to report its latest figures, the market will keenly observe how Tesla balances its global expansion efforts with its evolving technological ambitions. The narrative surrounding Tesla as a symbol of luxury and technological aspiration, often seen in affluent Western markets, finds a new context in India, where its high price point immediately positions it as an exclusive offering far removed from the mass market. This duality, a luxury brand entering a price-sensitive market with immense long-term potential, defines Tesla's current gambit. Ultimately, Tesla's entry into India is a calculated multi-year play. The initial small bet is less about immediate sales volume and more about establishing a foothold, understanding the market dynamics, and positioning itself for a future where India's economic ascent and growing middle class could unlock unprecedented demand for electric vehicles. Success hinges not only on consumer adoption but also on potential shifts in India's import policies and Tesla's willingness to commit to local manufacturing. As the world watches, Tesla's Indian journey will serve as a crucial test case for its global expansion strategy, illustrating how a premium EV brand navigates the complexities of a truly emerging economic superpower. The night sky over California was once again illuminated by a familiar ascent this past Friday as SpaceX successfully launched another batch of its Starlink internet satellites into low Earth orbit. This latest mission, a testament to the relentless pace of commercial spaceflight, further expands the colossal Starlink constellation, bringing high-speed internet connectivity to an ever wider global audience and underscoring SpaceX's dominant role in the satellite broadband sector. Lifting off precisely at 8:52 p.m. local time on Friday, July 18, 11:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 3:52 GMT on July 19, the Falcon 9 rocket roared to life from Space Launch Complex 4 East SLC-4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base. The spectacle marked the deployment of 24 new Starlink satellites designated as Starlink 17-3 into their orbital network. Within an hour of the booster's upper stage delivering the satellites to space, the spacecraft were confirmed to be in low Earth orbit according to a SpaceX update posted on its X social media network. This particular mission also highlighted the remarkable reusability of SpaceX's hardware as the Falcon 9 first stage tail number B1082 completed its 14th successful flight. This veteran booster safely returned to Earth, performing a precise landing on the autonomous drone ship Of Course I Still Love You stationed in the Pacific Ocean, marking the 141st landing for this vessel and the 477th booster recovery to date for the company. With this launch, SpaceX logged its 88th Falcon 9 mission of 2025 and its 516th completed mission overall. The continuous expansion of the Starlink network is pivotal to SpaceX's vision of global connectivity. Currently, the constellation boasts over 7,965 active units out of more than 9,200 satellites launched since 2019. These satellites operate in low Earth orbit approximately 341 miles up, a strategic choice that significantly reduces latency and improves data transfer speeds compared to traditional geostationary satellite services which orbit at a much higher altitude of about 22,236 miles. This technological advantage allows Starlink to offer robust broadband internet access in regions where conventional connectivity options are limited or non-existent, and is increasingly supporting direct-to-cell capabilities for select phones and providers. A significant focus of this expansion, particularly from West Coast launches, is to enhance service in high-latitude regions. SpaceX has ambitious plans to place over 400 additional satellites into polar orbits by the end of 2025. This strategic move is expected to more than double the capacity for customers in areas like Alaska where connectivity has historically been challenging. In fact, the initial satellites in this series, including those from the Starlink 17-1 mission on May 27, which also utilized booster B1082, have already begun serving Alaskan users, nearly doubling median peak hour download speeds over the past month. This aggressive deployment schedule underscores SpaceX's commitment to addressing the digital divide in remote and underserved communities. While the thunderous liftoffs are a source of pride and excitement for space enthusiasts visible from locations as far as Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, and even parts of Arizona due to the south or southeast trajectory from Vandenberg, they are not without their local impacts. Residents in Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, and Ventura counties often experience sonic booms as the rocket or its components travel faster than the speed of sound. Although some Californians may not appreciate the frequent overhead activity, the public interest in these launches remains high, with many seeking out designated viewing locations or tuning into live webcasts provided by SpaceX. Founded by Elon Musk in 2002, SpaceX has rapidly evolved from a startup into a commercial spaceflight titan. Headquartered at Starbase in South Texas, the company is not only known for its Starlink internet constellation but also for its Dragon spacecraft, which conducts privately funded commercial crewed missions such as the recent Fram 2 mission in April and the headline-grabbing Polaris Dawn in September 2024. Furthermore, SpaceX plays a crucial role in national space endeavors, benefiting from billions of dollars in contracts from NASA and the Department of Defense for launching classified satellites and other vital payloads. Looking ahead, SpaceX shows no signs of slowing its pace. Following this latest Starlink deployment, the company is already shifting its focus to an upcoming NASA rideshare mission which will carry the agency's Tracers tandem reconnection and cusp electrodynamics reconnaissance satellites payload into orbit. Beyond its Falcon 9 missions, Elon Musk recently confirmed that the 10th test flight of the massive Starship mega-rocket central to his long-term ambitions for Mars is anticipated in approximately 3 weeks. As SpaceX continues to push the boundaries of rocket reusability and satellite deployment. Its ongoing missions are not merely about launching hardware but about fundamentally reshaping global access to information and paving the way for humanity's deeper ventures into space. The volatile world of technology leadership and its ever-expanding digital footprint once again commanded headlines this week, with a series of developments illuminating the intricate interplay between corporate strategy, public perception, and the pervasive influence of social media. From a high-profile executive departure at X to the unmasking of a mysterious online persona and a viral workplace scandal, the tech landscape continues its relentless churn, often with Elon Musk at its epicenter. Perhaps the most significant corporate news came with the announcement that Linda Yaccarino has stepped down as CEO of X after a 2-year tenure. Her departure marks a pivotal moment for the social media platform, which has undergone significant transformations since Elon Musk's acquisition. Yaccarino, who assumed the role with the stated goal of revitalizing X's advertising business and broadening its appeal, thanked Musk for the opportunity, though the circumstances and future leadership remain subjects of keen speculation. Her time at the helm was characterized by efforts to navigate a challenging advertising market and implement Musk's vision for an everything app, a period marked by both ambitious initiatives and considerable controversy. Adding to the week's developments surrounding X and its enigmatic owner, a long-running mystery concerning an alleged online alter ego of Elon Musk appears to have been definitively solved. For years, rumors circulated that the X account of Adrian Dittman, which consistently showered praise on the billionaire, was merely an alt account used by Musk himself to inflate his online image. However, a recent investigation by The Spectator, widely reported by AOL.com, claims to have located the real Adrian Dittman, a German-born entrepreneur residing in Fiji. The report cross-referenced years of social media activity from the Dittman account with public records and biographical details of the individual in Fiji. It revealed that the real Dittman, described as a slender young blonde man bearing a strong resemblance to his AI-generated X-profile photo, is the son of a German software engineer and has launched several ventures, including a bottled water company, a forestry enterprise, and a marina. Critically, the investigation found that one of Dittman's companies did indeed participate in the $100 million X-Prize carbon removal contest in 2021, the same year the Adrian Dittman X account was created. This finding lends significant credibility to the report, debunking months of speculation by various outlets including the Daily Mail, Rolling Stone, and Newsweek, which had fueled theories about Musk's alleged burner account and even suggested he used a voice modulator in X Space's chat rooms to impersonate Dittman. The Spectator's findings underscore the challenges of discerning authenticity in an increasingly digital world where online personas can easily become subjects of widespread, often unfounded conspiracy theories. Beyond the internal shifts and identity revelations, Elon Musk also found himself indirectly involved in a separate, widely discussed incident dubbed Coldplaygate. This viral scandal originated from a video showing astronomer CEO Andy Byron and Chief People Officer Kristen Cabot sharing an intimate moment at a Coldplay concert. The 6-minute clip rapidly spread across social media platforms like X, igniting a fervent debate about workplace relationships, tech leadership ethics, and the blurred lines between personal and professional conduct in the public eye. The situation escalated further as fabricated quotes and memes linked to astronomer, a data firm valued at over $1 billion, began to surface. Elon Musk's simple laughing emoji response to a tweet referencing the saga quickly went viral, drawing millions of impressions and intensifying the cultural spectacle. While minimal, Musk's engagement was seen by many as satirical commentary on the increasing entanglement of private affairs and public personas, particularly in high-stakes corporate settings. The incident has resurfaced allegations of Byron being a toxic boss from former employees and raised uncomfortable questions about executive behavior when personal moments are thrust into the viral spotlight, prompting a broader conversation on accountability in the age of ubiquitous cameras and social media virality. Finally, in a legal development that provided some closure to a lingering consequence of Musk's acquisition of Twitter. Delaware's Court of Chancery dismissed a $1.88 million stock drop lawsuit. The suit was brought by a Washington state computer software engineer who sought to recoup losses incurred when Musk briefly backed out of his deal to acquire the social media company. The court's decision on Friday brought an end to the investor's claims, highlighting the complexities and legal ramifications that continue to ripple from the tumultuous acquisition of the platform now known as X. These converging narratives, a CEO's departure, the unmasking of an online enigma, a public scandal amplified by a tech titan, and the resolution of a significant lawsuit, collectively paint a vivid picture of the modern tech industry. It's a landscape where the lines between corporate governance, personal lives, and digital identities are increasingly blurred. And where the actions and reactions of influential figures like Elon Musk can instantly shape public discourse. As X navigates its post-Yaccarino era and the broader tech world grapples with issues of authenticity, executive conduct, and legal accountability, the constant scrutiny and rapid evolution suggest that the coming months will be no less eventful. In a revelation that has sent ripples through the tech and business communities, Elon Musk's ambitious brain implant startup Neuralink has reportedly self-designated itself to the federal government as a small disadvantaged business. This striking claim comes despite the company's recent valuation soaring to an estimated $9 billion and its ownership by Musk, the world's wealthiest individual. The disclosure raises significant questions about the application and intent of government support programs, particularly given Musk's public stance on federal spending and diversity initiatives. The Small Disadvantaged Business (SDB) designation is a specific federal classification intended to provide opportunities for companies that are unconditionally and directly majority owned by individuals belonging to socially or economically disadvantaged groups. Crucially, the criteria stipulate that the owners of such companies must be economically disadvantaged individuals, typically defined by a net worth of less than $850,000 excluding home equity. The stark contrast between these requirements and Musk's immense personal fortune, estimated to be in the hundreds of billions, has ignited considerable debate. This self-designation by Neuralink appears particularly incongruous when viewed against the backdrop of Musk's broader activities and public commentary. While his companies have pursued this special status, Musk himself has been a vocal critic of government spending and has reportedly been active in efforts to curtail diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs within federal contracts. This perceived dichotomy, criticizing government programs and advocating for cost-cutting while simultaneously leveraging a designation meant for the economically disadvantaged, has drawn sharp scrutiny. The move also adds another layer to the complex relationship between Elon Musk's ventures and the federal government. His companies, including Tesla and SpaceX, have historically been significant beneficiaries of government support, reportedly receiving at least $20 billion and in some analyses up to $38 billion in government funds, including crucial loans when Tesla was struggling. Just recently, one of Musk's AI companies celebrated a $200 million Pentagon contract alongside the establishment of a new unit specifically aimed at securing more government business. These financial ties underscore a pattern where, despite public rhetoric emphasizing free market principles and federal cost-cutting, Musk's enterprises have consistently tapped into substantial public funds and preferential programs. The implications of Neuralink's SDB claim are manifold. For one, it could potentially open doors to federal contracts set aside specifically for disadvantaged businesses, offering a competitive advantage in securing lucrative government work. It also brings the integrity of the self-designation system into question, prompting calls for greater oversight and potentially leading to a review of how such statuses are granted and monitored, especially for high-profile companies. Ultimately, this incident highlights the ongoing tension between corporate ambition, public policy, and the ethical responsibilities of powerful figures in the tech industry, setting the stage for increased scrutiny of how federal programs are utilized by even the most well-resourced entities.